Kids' movies are a hotly debated topic that often divides opinion. While personally secure with the share of childhood movies I've been endowed with, plenty of which most Gen Zers would consider absolute cinema, Barney isn't one. Barney's Great Adventure suffers from having a conventional cat and mouse story rather than developing something interesting with identifiable characters and food for thought. But what does this indicate about the original script? What if the Dreammaker actually hatched a giant bird that was misplaced from its mother instead of the koala Twinkin? What if Miss Goldfinch, Baby Bop, and BJ had more to do in the story instead of being pushed to the sidelines? What about the journey with our protagonists, alongside their dreams and ambitions they each would have accomplished? How much better do you think this version of Barney's film would have been? Join us on an adventure as big as your imagination when we deep dive into Barney's Great Adventures, script to screen. The production of Barney's Great Adventure first came around in 1992 when sales director for the Linz Group, Debbie Rhines, had plans to make the film with Barney's creator Cheryl Leach, making an official green light the following year. All the major studios wanted their share and pitch in making the film. Warner Brothers took up and planned to distribute it worldwide through a partnership with Giffen Pictures for a penned release in the summer of 1995. But Warner and Linz had disagreements over marketing, leading to Leach's departure and the latter to bring the film to Polygram for theatrical release. A screenplay was helmed by longtime Barney show writer Stephen White, who crafted a broad 2-hour story centered on themes of imagination, friendship, and family dynamics. But when production rolled around by 1997, much of that was eliminated and streamlined by director Steve Goomer. The revisions also incorporated educational segments drawn from the TV series to enhance the film's learning value. Stephen White disapproved of the imposed script changes and disowned the final film. Thanks to an array of public interest, White released the original script online in November of 2022 before being removed 3 years later. The script would have opened with Barney addressing the audience in the film's interactive features. We would then pan up to the starlit sky and see the Dreammaker floating through space toward planet Earth. An elementary school is shown being dismissed for the summer, with familiar faces from Barney and Friends appearing. Third season's Mean, Tasha, Derek, Julie, Carlos, Kathy, Jason, and Sean. Sean would pull Barney out of a box for those to see, and then Tasha, who's handwriting a letter, addressing to the group that she plans to send him on vacation with her cousin Marcella. While on a road trip to visit the Greenfields farm, Abby, her parents, and her friend Marcella sing Down on Grandpa's Farm to the chagrin of her older brother Cody, who is generally not looking forward to staying with his grandparents. Christine, the mother of Abby and Cody, suggests to Marcella to open the box containing Barney. Although a dinosaur, Cody refers to it as just a doll. Marcella reads the letter from her cousin, whom encourages her to use the toy for imagination. We'd get a point-of-view shot from baby brother Fig as he's enraptured by the twinkle in Barney's eyes. The family arrive for Grandma and Grandpa Greenfield before the parents head on their way. While bored in his room, Abby pretends to be Barney and suggests for Cody to play with him, before getting back at the girls by snatching Barney and hiding him in the bathtub. Cody suggests that the girls use their imaginations to find him, which prompts Barney to spring to life, much to his disbelief. When playing in the attic, Cody continues being skeptical about Barney's existence, even referencing having seen Jurassic Park. Barney makes it known that he's as real as his imagination. The girls and Barney then go into a musical number about imagination, emphasizing not just how it can allow anyone to do anything and go anywhere, as well as explaining Barney's mythology, but also Cody's pragmatic, no imagination frame of mind. Cody tries to inform his grandparents about Barney's existence, but pay no heed to him and are distracted with other things, such as Grandpa entering into a pie contest, sampling his spaghetti and peach pie as he goes. Grandpa tells Cody that if Barney keeps out of the way, then he can stay. When Cody goes back up to relay the message, he's then introduced to BJ and Baby Bop in the attic. While playing and looking out at the farm, Cody takes Abby and Marcella downstairs to the grandparents so they can explain that there are more dinosaurs in the attic. Grandpa permits this, thinking that they can scare the mice away. Later, while stargazing on the porch, Barney reappears. Cody and him have a quiet moment while the girls go back up to the attic with BJ and Baby Bop, and then is encouraged to wish on a star, the Dreammaker egg, which lands in the barn and into a bucket. The next day, Cody asks his grandparents if the kids can be taken to the parade, but ultimately can't because of their busy schedule, baking pies and working on the farm. Baby Bop and BJ pass Grandma without notice. The children meet the dinosaurs outside and head into a musical number about fun on the farm. Various vignettes play out, such as them playing on the bucket hiding the egg, Baby Bop using the baby carriage she found in the attic to give farm animals a lift, as well as BJ and Cody playing football, which the latter fumbles and lands it in the mud. Cody would eventually stumble across the egg, and the kids would bring it inside to show Grandma, leaving Barney in their dust as he holds on to it. Their search leads them to visit her neighbor, Miss Goldfinch, a birdwatcher. Goldfinch is unable to determine what kind of egg it is in her books, but when it moves again, she concludes that the egg is alive and will hatch when all the rings change color. She urges those to keep a close eye on it and make sure it doesn't break, before Barney and the children head back to the farm. Marcella puts the egg in a crate, but when everyone's away, an eggman, Gigi Gajoob, comes into the barn to collect all the eggs, including the giant egg in the crate, replaced by the birdseed driver and food maker seen in the film. The gang gives chase on the horse Agnes, with Barney riding in a small garden wagon as BJ and Baby Bop watch on in the attic. The kids use their imagination on the horse to pick up speed. As they close in on the Eggman, the egg skids into the street and is thrashed into the Maryville Founders Day Parade. The gang watches on as the egg changes color and an elephant picks it up, who eventually sneezes and it lands in the hands of a juggler. He'd eventually hurl the objects into the air, leaving the gang unsure as to where the egg might have landed. After some encouragement from Barney, including a musical number about how things get lost, Cody gets the idea to look up and spots the egg sitting on the edge of a roof, which they make their way up toward. Baby Bop and BJ would have also made a brief comical appearance, with them taking all of Grandma Greenfield's pies after a misunderstanding between the two parties. Meanwhile, Miss Goldfinch goes to Bird Buddies International to report on the egg, but is turned down by Mr. Featherby, a snotty bureaucrat to whom she has filed many apocryphal reports before. He makes it clear if a bird actually hatches from the egg, she will be featured on the cover of Field Guide to Feathered Friends. About the same time the quartet tries to retrieve the egg, a pigeon lands on top, causing it to wiggle over the roof slightly. A cat scares it away, causing the egg to fall, and Barney to dive off the building using a flagpole as a trampoline. The egg would land on a woman's hat as she goes into a restaurant. Barney's gang try to get in, but Chez Snobby shoos them away, since they have no reservations and don't work at the restaurant. By using some crayons and imagination, they pretend to be waiters as Barney attempts to intercept the hat lady while the egg rolls off her hat into a salad and a waiter covers it. The woman that Barney is serving requests a love song from the restaurant's singing waiters. The kids would use their imagination with Abby at the violin to ad-lib a love song, quote, "When you kiss me, it doesn't make me sick," unquote, a parody of love songs inserted into many children's films. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, the egg is thrown away as it hasn't been eaten, which lights another color. As Barney and the group try to relocate the egg, the waiter mentions that the chef's surprise has been thrown out in the alley, forcing them to dig through many garbage cans. A dog comes by and finds the egg, but rolls it out back toward the parade and into a balloon salesman, which gets tangled up in the strings of a balloon and lifted skyward. The group finds cardboard boxes, and Cody suggests to use their imagination to make a plane. They take off after the floating egg, but the strings on the balloon come apart and the egg freefalls, forcing the gang to nosedive and crash into a fountain, the egg landing in the center straight. Cody thinks of an idea, and Barney gets to recruit all the kids in Maryville to help cover all the fountain sprays. The egg squirts higher and higher. Barney jumps atop of the central spray and catches the egg, but is rocketed up by a powerful stream of water. The egg flies out of Barney's hands, and Cody manages to catch it, following on from a plot thread about how Cody can't catch a football, hence the nickname Butterfingers. Cody would return the egg to the barn and wait for it to hatch. Cody's parents, alongside Abby and Marcella, come by, and he lays in about what happened that day. Barney surprises everyone when riding in with Agnes, BJ, and Baby Bop coming in after. Miss Goldfinch hurries back to the barn concerned about the egg. The last egg changes color, and it hatches a baby bird who's missing its mother. The mother bird would fly down into the barn, thanking the group as the cast all sing, "I Love You." The advantages of Stephen White's storytelling, world building, and audacity of Barney's Great Adventure outweigh the disadvantages of the simplistic, paint-by-the-numbers, half-baked final product. Although considered too long, expensive, and ambitious by the studio, the script may have offered greater long-term potential. While the film material drew from this original framework, the final film clocked in at 75 minutes, with an alleged longer 20-minute cut not being utilized for the final US release. Although the film was distributed internationally in select European and Asian markets, no evidence confirmed a longer variant was screened there, nor has it ever been made available and restored since. While the final version was more practical and commercially manageable, it also can be seen as a missed opportunity to develop Barney beyond a straightforward children's adventure and into a more distinctive, imaginative cinematic world. As I invariably put it, it's better to live in a series of OLs than what ifs. Barney's Great Adventure could have been a preschool cinematic epic, but if you want to see a children's movie that felt too close to the sun in terms of marketing, refer to the link down below.